Technology is changing nearly every corner of the cleaning and facility solutions industries. But what happens when innovation meets the real world challenges of managing equipment, maintenance, and operations at scale? Well, to discuss this, I'm pleased to welcome Alexander Manafee, CEO and co-founder of ToolSense. Alexander, welcome to the program.
Hi Jeff, thanks for having me.
Where do we find you today?
Yeah, today I'm in Vienna, in Austria, at home in the home office. So if you hear my little guy screaming in the background, I hope it's okay.
It will be okay. The wonders of working from home. Kids are important. They have to have their time as well. And I believe it's evening where you're at, so maybe looking for dinner, Alexander. But let's get right to our program. ToolSense started from a university engineering project, I believe. Take us back to those early days and explain the problem or challenge you and your co-founders were trying to solve. Talk about that.
Sure. So Jeff, I worked before Tools. I worked at Siemens in the digital digital industry 4.0 division. And there was a lot of IoT, industrial IoT coming. And I had a friend in the construction industry who worked back then at Hilti, the red power tools, and he just told me how a lot of those tools get stolen from the job site. Yeah, and so basically I grabbed a couple friends from university. I was studying computer engineering at the time, and we said, "Hey, let's build a solution how we can, you know, um, reduce theft on the job site, and make life a bit easier." And we actually built an IoT module and deployed it, and actually, got it running with a couple of construction companies. And we then saw that an even bigger issue is like the whole workflows and operations around it, and everything is running in with paper and Excel and phone calls, and we saw this then in more and more industries, and then especially let's say fell in love with the cleaning and the facility service industry, and now today work with over 200 companies in the space, both manufacturers and dealers of clean equipment and a lot of big FM companies. And they use us really for, on the one hand, equipment, maintenance, robot, vehicle, all kind of workflows, and then getting data and driving insights and reducing costs. But on the other hand, also for more and more other related processes like even quality management and these kind of topics. And so we're really building an FM operations platform that really you know, um, let's say, all kind of workflows in one place.
Well, thank you, Alexander. Good information. Now, ToolSense has grown from a startup idea into a platform serving major international organizations. Talk about the challenges in scaling the business and earning trust in the marketplace.
Sure. I think by now we have arrived in the market. In the beginning, it was really, especially our main pillar, equipment management and IoT and tracking of equipment. That was really a very niche thing because, the main focus is on the people and the main cost and the cost structure. Also, people is 95% of the cost, and equipment is only a couple percent. Yeah. And so the beginning was very niche topic. Now the industry really warmed up, and we also saw this now at the Interclean in April, where we had a lot of traffic and started with some really nice customers even on the spot. And yeah, our biggest customer today has 350,000 employees globally, which is ISS. And we started a couple of years ago with ISS Austria, where they were running all of the equipment operations from Excel. They had a big Excel on SharePoint with, I think, like 20,000 or something pieces of equipment in there. And then if something broke down, it was WhatsApp, phone calls, emails to suppliers, and they didn't really know, what kind of cost they had, what machines really made sense to run, if they really had the right machine for the job, and if they were paying too much, didn't know that. And so we really like digitized all the kind of operations, deployed a lot of IoT, and really we had a nice speech in Interclean with ISS, and they told us really that actually they even drove down the number of machines they buy and the investment into machines by 30% versus how it was before ToolSense. And so now we're in 14 countries with ISS, from Singapore, Australia, all the way to the US and Norway. And Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and for sure, also I think that's what we really are very good at is really like also these kind of enterprise rollouts and really, large organizations, like also on the OEM side, global rollouts, and yeah, lots of learning, lots of fun, and we're really at the beginning still.
I heard you say fun a couple of times there, so that's important. Your business, you're taking care of clients, but you're having fun. So that's good to hear.
Yep.
Alexander, tell me why. I know you're now a member of ISSA. Why was joining ISSA important for ToolSense? And what value have you seen from being connected to the association and the cleaning industry community?
Sure. So, for us, I mean, really, there was really crucial, let's say, points, with Interclean, for example, or we were now also last year the first time in Las Vegas at the ISA show. We'll be again here in, I think, November. It's November this year, I think, right? So we'll be there again, and that for like the shows alone are just a game changer, and really meeting people face to face and having really a different kind of quality of conversation. And what I really love about the industry is really in the end the people and the relations. And that's also very different because before we were also active in different industries like construction or logistics, and now we're really focusing in on FM. And the way that FM operates as an industry, I describe it always as villagey. Yeah, so somehow each country feels a little bit like FM feels a little bit like a village. Everybody knows everybody, and it's a lot of interpersonal stuff that's going on, which is really great. And I think ISSC really, it resembles that, but also puts it on a very global and professional level, which is great. And yeah, for us, it's just very important to be part of these kind of associations. It's about shared learning. It's about platforms like this, and also about the shows, of course, and having the best possible setup in these kind of environments.
Last question, Alexander. Looking ahead, where do you see the biggest opportunities for digital transformation in cleaning and facility management? Let's say over the next 5 years or so.
Yeah. So what we see as like a couple of very important trends is IoT on the one hand, right? So everybody talks about it, but in reality, it's still in the very early stages. It's still a very small percentage of the traditional equipment that's actually connected with IoT, but we see a much improved operational efficiency, much higher, much reduced downtime, and really we see that IoT is really, um, it becoming more and more the norm. And this, I think, will really change the industry. And I think, and my working hypothesis is that like from these typically upright scrubbers that maybe cost 2, 3 thousand upwards, all of the equipment will be just connected by default. It will not like in a couple of years, it will not be optional anymore. Any kind of IMOP was the first with these upright scrubbers with the and I think any kind of scrubber like this onwards will just by default be connected, and it will just not be a question anymore. And I think this will just because now it's a black box. In reality, a lot of cleaning companies, they don't even know what they have. They don't even know if they need it. They don't know if it's operational, and they have zero visibility. And basically with IoT, with the push of a button, you know everything, and you can just drive down cost and increase quality. I think this second point, of course, robotics. Yeah, this is really regionally dependent, but this is also a very big factor for our partners. And this is why also, we integrated now like 14, 15 suppliers, robotic suppliers, all into ToolSense to really, have one unified operational dashboard and control panel for all those robots. And there also you get a lot of data and can do a lot of stuff with it. And then the third piece is AI. Yeah, and where it's really about enabling, yeah, and also automating, right? So for example, that when a machine is broken down, how can we enable the operator so that they can actually get it fixed up again and fix it themselves versus having to, get a supplier come and fix it, costly. Or for example, decisions in terms of fleet composition. How can, for example, we as tools act as an AI fleet manager in the end and really make decisions together with our customers, or in the end, even for our customers, if they give this kind of agency to optimize fleet composition and really make sure that everything is running as smoothly as it can. So I see really as AI as really a helper, as an additional kind of um, very, very, price efficient employee to really make sure that everything is running smoothly, and that everything is interconnected. And these three, let's say, trends, IoT, robotics, AI, I see them all being connected, and this will just really make a difference in the way the cleaning industry operates, I think.
I can't see anything to disagree with there, Alexander. Thank you for your time today. I will see you in Las Vegas in November.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.